So good of you to come, God Awoken. You know, you are many things, but above all, you are reliable. Reliable to the point of being predictable. You came to the wellspring. I followed. The Lady Vengeance is, after all, my ship. And now here we all are.
It is time, mistress.
She gives you a long and steady look, as if it is the last time you shall see each other for the rest of eternity. Then she dips her chin in acknowledgement. You are almost her equal.
Yes, Vredeman. It is time.
What are you doing here, traitor? Does your scheming never end? I believed you, Dallas, when you told me I was chosen. But all this time, you were lying. You were trying to prevent my ascension. So disappointing. But your games end here. It is time for me to claim my birthright. The Godwoken shall ascend.
You were right, mistress. He is an imbecile.
Not an imbecile, just misguided. Wiser ones than him were lured by the promise of all that power, and it brought them to nothing but ruin. It brought me ruin. Anyway, it all ends now. You see, Alexander, divinity isn't the solution to the world's ills. Divinity is the problem. I am here to fix that. And now, finally!
She raises the Aeteran. Like a divining rod to water, it seeks the wellspring, and finds it. The device hums to life.
Divinity is not for you to take. It never was.
We are done, mistress.
Yes, Vredeman, we are done. And so too, Godwoken, are you. Soon you shall be little more than relics of a bygone time, and this place shall be your tomb. Goodbye.
The ritual has failed. The structure lies in ruins, but you have at least survived. You should feel relief, disappointment, confusion, anything but the rage that wells up from deep within you. The rage grows, burning hotter than the volcano itself, tearing at you, seeking to overpower your senses. The red mist wants to descend. The red mist feels like it does not belong to you. The red mist feels alive. And it wants you. A familiar figure materializes before you. A copy of yourself, enraged. Your own face glowers at you in hateful fury. It opens its mouth. And your furious god begins to speak.
You failure. You nobody. You weakling. Look me in the eye. I am Relic. I am god of this world. All that you are is mine. It shall be mine once more. Yield. Surrender yourself to your god, that he may right your wrong. Yield to Relic, that he may be god of Rivellon. If you won't yield by your own will, you will yield by mine. Yield to me!
The Titan lies in pieces before you. The god controlling it is dead by your hand. Lava roils as earthquakes rumble around you. Shockwaves of sound pierce the air, the growl of shifting ground. Suddenly, a voice echoes in your mind. It's Malady. Where the hell are you, she calls. Find my beacon. We need to get out of here now. Her voice crackles and dissipates in your mind.
Ugh. I guess when I said never again, I really meant once or twice more. Okay. Okay. The Hall of Echoes once more. Our home away from home. Close indeed. You almost became a god, and instead you're still... you. At least you managed to murder one of the 7. Quite the spectacle. I've never seen anything so... Let's talk about this later. I need to rest. We've still one big jump to go, but... it'll have to wait.
She casts her gaze around, taking in the streaming bluish ether. She breathes a deep, ragged breath.
At least, it's quite beautiful here, isn't it? I'm going to take a rest, sort myself out. I suggest you do the same. Speak to the ship if you need me. She'll know where to find me. This may be your last bit of respite before the storm blows in again, Godwoken. Enjoy it. You deserve that much.
Shh, Quercus. It's okay. We're okay.
He runs his paws over the cat's skeleton with long, methodical strokes. Sometimes his fingers curl, as if he's forgotten that Quercus's fur is long gone.
Shh, don't cry. We got out. We made it. We're safe. They can't get us here. The Knights will never hurt us again, Quercus. I promise. Quercus, after all the shield has done, do you think it's time? Yes. Yes, I think so too. The story belongs to us both, and by now the shield deserves to know the truth.
The squirrel looks up and meets your eyes for the first time. Small, shining beads take you in.
We have traveled some time together, Shield. There were times when I very nearly lost heart. My research, so much of it has led to naught. At times, I fear I am no closer to stopping the acorn than when I started. But you have been relentless. When I felt I might falter, you sallied forward. You and Quercus have given me strength when mine waned. You deserve to know the truth. The reason I know so much about the Knights of Dre, the reason I'm the one who needs to stop them, well, I was one of their order once. I was an acolyte of the Great Acorn. I saw dwarves tear down my forest, turning my home into weapons of war. I saw humans launching great orbs of fire into the homes of my friends. I saw lizards shackling the citizens of the land with harnesses and whips. The Great Acorn would stop you all for good. And what do you call the destruction of an entire forest and all its inhabitants? They call it progress. We call it genocide. The same as you. You reap what you sow. Isn't that right? At least, that's what I thought then. I believed in the cause of the Great Acorn. I believed the Knights of Dre were righteous in their quest. But they proved themselves zealots. Heartless.
He runs his paws along Quercus's bony head and scritches the space behind his ear. Quercus rattles a dry, contented purr.
Quercus was once a beautiful, burnished orange, long of hair, green of eye, so soft of tread he could stalk through a thicket of dry thorns without disturbing a single one. That was before. before the Knights of Dre decided... well, they decreed... They executed him. Squirrels alone shall reap the great acorn's blessings, they said. It's unnatural to associate with other species, they said. So, they killed him. My friend. It was then I knew that they'd gone too far. It was then that I realized what I had been party to. It took every last bit of magic I had gathered to bring him back. Then we ran. I just wanted to find a safe den where we could hide together, but...
The squirrel sits quietly for a moment, running his hand down the cat's spine. Quercus arches his back and flexes his claws.
But Quercus said we could do more. He said we should push on.
The cat leans into your palm, rubbing against you, and only a quick act of acrobatics stops Soloro from being knocked off. The squirrel throws his hands up in indignity, but you can see a quiet smile spreading underneath his whiskers.
What a bevy of misfits we are! Though I suppose it is best to fit badly in a world gone mad. Fear not, Shield. I will discover how to stop the great acorn. I will protect the creatures of this land, all of them, from the Knights. With Quercus at my side, with you at my side, I know I will not fail.
Gareth's head is steady, but his face is pale and his eyes are lost.
We still have a mission, Godwoken. You must ascend. I will see it through.
I thought you'd forgotten about me, darling. How goes your little endeavor?
Almira gives you a devilish grin and traces her finger along your forearm.
I had a feeling you'd be one to watch, my dear. I'm glad to hear my faith wasn't misplaced. Darling. Why, I can't remember the last time someone showed me such kindness. Maybe even never. When it matters most, I will stand alongside you. I promise. After all, I am soon to be a free woman. I can choose to follow whomever I wish now.
After all that's just happened, life, every flawed morsel of it, seems more precious to you than ever. You look around at those who have accompanied you so far. In each one, something unique shines through. Divinity has eluded you so far, but humanity beats strong within you, here and now. Who knows what lies ahead for you, for your companions? Your quest failed. The void is growing stronger, and the hall is dark. You feel the need for some affection. Perhaps they feel it too. Ifan raises an eyebrow, and his sharp teeth glint in a wide smile.
Rest? With you? Yes. Let's go.
As you move to go below decks, the live wood creaks and groans. The steps you thought you knew lead you to a part of the ship you've never seen before. A newly carved nook that smells of resin and wood chips. Touching the wall beneath your fingers, the live wood hums at your touch. You understand that the Lady Vengeance has carved this space for you in gratitude for your help. You enter and feel the presence of the ship recede, offering you the total privacy of a moment alone with your companion. The first moment you have been truly alone together.
So, here we are.
Ifan laughs, full and throaty.
Well, that time you slipped on void-woken ichor and ended up covered in it was pretty special. Or there was that time we talked in the Under Tavern. Or the time it rained really hard in the graveyard and your clothes... I suppose I really like spending time with you. What's meant most to you on our journey?
Ifan smiles and moves even closer, nuzzling at your neck with his nose. His beard tickles your reddening throat. Aside from your voice, The only sound is the whisper of fabric between your bodies.
Dear one.
Ifan's hands reach for your own. His magnetic eyes seek yours. You know this man. He is ruthless, capable of anything. These hands that hold your own have tortured, maimed, killed. He pulls you close to him, his hard, lean body pressing against you. He leans in to kiss you. It is not a gentle kiss. It's primal, wild even. Your lips bruise and your tongue tastes the metallic tang of blood.
You. Everything is so dark, so grey. But you're bright. When you shine your light on me, everything else is bearable.
Ifan leans back to take in the sight of you. His dark eyes travel over every inch. He reaches out and traces the bow of your lips with his fingers.
I know I shouldn't stare, but I just can't stop. I wish you could see yourself as I see you now. You're incredible.
He responds in kind, then pulls you down to lie on the ground beside him. Ifan growls and presses close to you, so you can feel how very much he wants this. His hot breath warms your face. He grasps your ribcage with strong, warm hands. You feel yourself lifted from the very earth into some other realm. Ifan's fierce, dark pupils fill your vision.
I crave you. Every step of the way I've wanted you. Since the moment we met. I've tried to conceal it, but I can hardly breathe around you. I've dreamed of this moment so often. You can't even imagine. My thoughts are always consumed by you. Your smile, your spirit, your soul.
Ifan undresses you slowly, removing every last stitch of clothing from your body. The warmth of his own body ensures you feel no cold, and the warmth of his gaze ensures you feel no embarrassment. Pulling his tunic over his head, you reveal Ifan's muscular body, all scars and sinew. He grins, eager, pointed teeth parting, and embraces you, so you are completely enveloped within his strong arms. In the low lamplight, the wider world fades away. Sweat glistens where your bodies meet. There is nothing but wonder, eyes, hands, and tongues.
Let's.
Ifan's feral eyes glitter ravenously as he looks deep into your own. He moves into you and kisses you again. He tastes of earth, dark earth, and night. Fire runs through your veins, licking at every nerve in your body. Every movement from him sparks a charge, like chain lightning in a storm. There is nothing at all but you and him locked together. The fire inside you shivers and blazes, filling you with light and life, obliterating all the darkness within you. Ifan cries out.
You are everything.
And in that one moment, you feel it. Ifan shoots you a fond smile, warm and sleepy.
I needed that. Glad to hear it.
He embraces you tenderly, squeezing you tight before pulling away with a rueful grin.
Right. Let's get back to the ship.
Corbin, the Fletcher you rescued from Roost Anon at the Culwood Mills, sparks to life at the sight of you and breaks into a great grin.
Hiya! Oh, I mean, hey, how are you? All settled in myself? Can't tell you how glad I am to be here, and thank you for bringing me. I feel it, you know? I really do.
Take whatever time you need to gather yourself, my friend. When you are ready, we can proceed.
Yes, I am sorry. She had me built to her exact designs. Not even I know all the ways in which she can control me. She was able to follow my wake like a shark. But I will see myself destroyed rather than be forced to betray you again. I swear.
It shall be done.
Melody's face is drawn. She seems tired, somewhat subdued. She looks you over and squints.
What's wrong with you? You seem happy. It's written all over you. In truth, I'm glad to see it. A joyful God is a just God. I've had some time to think, and there's a few matters I want to discuss before we carry on. I doubt you've forgotten the death of Meister Siva.
She swallows hard and closes her eyes for a moment, as though trying to dispel a dizzy spell.
She and I had a deal, you see. A deal that's now quite obviously defunct. According to its terms, I was to help you ascend to divinity, and she was to help me with another matter. The details aren't important now, it's just... never mind. Another entangling alliance. But I won't be able to disentangle it on my own. There may come a time when I need to count on you as an ally. So, are we? Allies, that is. I'm glad to hear you say that. We do make quite the team, don't we? I found out where Dallas is heading. There's a great city not far from Driftwood, Arx by name. It's controlled by Magisters, so you'll have your work cut out for you. We have to find out what she's planning to do with the powers of the Seven. You'll need to find her and take back what she stole, and quickly, before she does something irreversible. Dallas, or any of the others for that matter, cannot be allowed to use the powers of the gods. She doesn't understand what must be done. She doesn't understand how to rule. It's quite simple, really. Chaos is a fact of life, surer than any other. Power is one of the few structures that can cut a line through that chaos. If wielded well, that line will mean stability, order, a comfort against the unknowable, changing forces of chaos. If wielded poorly, the line will mean domination, terror, different from chaos, but no better. Dallas, and the others like her, Alexander, the Mother Tree, the Prince of Shadows, they are little better than demons, really. They seek power at the expense of others, not to create stability, but to create servants. Look at my face, Godwoken. What do you see? I suppose we all see what we want to see. When I look in the mirror, I see balance. Balance between darkness and light, between good and evil, whatever those categories mean. When the time comes for you to ascend, remember my face. Remember that despite any shortcomings you might have, if you can bring a semblance of balance to the world, you'll have done as good as the Seven did. And if you can be stronger than them, you'll do all the better. The Seven are gone, slain by their Godwoken, slain by you. You have the potential, the obligation even, to do better than they did, to create a better world than the world they made. I just am. You can trust in me. I just am. Now, there's little time to spare. We need to get you to Arx, find Dallas, take back what she stole. Shall we go? Very good. How lucky for you I'm on your side. I'm probably the only one masterful enough to transport an entire ship safely between the land of the dead and the land of the living. Captain Malady stands at the ready.
After the briefest moment of respite, Malady brought the Godwoken to Arx to recover the divine powers Dallas had snatched away. But the half-demon's secret was taking its toll on her.
Lucian! Fools! The bastard's going to ruin everything! Brace! 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 Don't say anything.
Malady groans, her face twisting in pain. She falls to one knee, catching herself on her hands. She raises one hand and raises herself to her feet.
Now, no need to fuss, I'll be fine. It's just that traveling between the realms isn't easy, you know? It takes something from my soul each time. But never you fear. I've pulled a clever trick out of my sleeve. The Lady Vengeance stands in 2 realms at once. A body here, a soul in the Hall of Echoes. You can still return at your leisure. At least I got us where we wanted to go. This is Arx. This is where Dallas has fled with the powers of the gods. This is where the path to divinity leads. Your guess is as good as mine for once. If it were me, I'd start with the Divine Order in the city. Last I heard, there were plenty of Magister within the city walls. If their beloved leader is among them, they'll likely have heard about it. Dallas must be stopped. She has stolen the powers of the Seven. You'll need to get the Aetherin back if you're to fight the God King. You'll need it if you're to ascend. Track her in Arx. Find out where she's gone and end her. Take back the Aetherin and the powers of the gods with it. You cannot fail, Godwoken. Not for anything.
Hey, Chief. Before we get a move on, I'd like a word with Malady. You mind? Psst. Hey, Mals. I'm not, feeling so hot.
I should think not. The demon is getting closer to himself. You'll meet him in Arx soon enough, and if you meet him like this, it's bye-bye Losa. We won't let that happen, will we? I've got a little something cooking. There's power in names, after all. And we know exactly who Adramalik is. Don't worry. I'll find you before it's too late. Demon's honor.
Oh, Quercus. She might have been a butchered tree, but she still made a noble home. And now our nest is gone. We cannot hide in their barren hall of echoes. We cannot idly wait for fate to take us. There's only one thing left to do.
Solora looks up to you, then back to Quercus. His whiskers twitch.
We must fight! Onward, Quercus! Onward, shield! Until the great acorn drops, there's still hope! Ho!
Our lady's naught but kindling now. All we've got is each other. Not that I had any inkling of running off. Not when I'm so close to ending Justinia's plans once and for all. Death fog. I can barely breathe to think of it. Well, not really a ray of sunshine, am I? Come on, off to Mikhail Roz's estate. He'll know where Justinia is, presuming Lohar wasn't talking out of his far too ample arse. I've heard his name once or twice. He's in, how would you say, the import-export business. Old-school royalist. The revolution's not exactly good for commerce, after all. I doubt he'll be drawing me a map direct to Justinia, if that's what you're hoping. Though you never know what I could convince him to do, given my winning personality.
Beast winks at you.
I can be a charmer when I want to be. You better. That's reassuring, actually. I can't say I know everything she's got planned, but I know she'll do anything she can to halt the revolution. Who knows how many lives she'd end to see it done?
Gareth massages his forehead and grunts.
Ugh. Why does everything have to go to absolute shite?
Glad to see you're still kicking at least. Though I should warn you, Arx kicks back.
Gareth scans the wreckage and whistles. The Lady Vengeance is well and truly ruined. He stretches an arm in front of him and takes inventory of every scrape, cut and bruise.
As good as I'm gonna get. Godwoken, it may be Lucian's day, but Arx will give you little cause to celebrate. I must stay here, but I can give you this. Through it, Lucian may still protect you. I'll do what I do best. Hold things together. Those that remain still need a chief, so I'll attend to whatever needs attending to. I have no more surprises up my sleeve. I dare say you've had enough. It's a city at a crossroads. Volumes could be written about a single conflict. Yet Arx endures an infinitude at once. It's from Arx that the Divine Order operates, so to speak, though you'll find its operations are as scattered as dandelion seeds in a cyclone. With both factions at odds, sorcery is not a pervading concern. Do not, however, assume that every paladin offers safe haven. The enemy of your enemy is not always a friend. Were I wearing your boots, I'd seek out Ahu, the Lord Protector, and the Keeper of Lucian's Crypt. He is a wise one, and may offer you help. Ahu is Lucian's greatest asset, a great wizard, and clever as a cat. He protects Lucian's remains deep within the Arx Cathedral, and I can think of no one better suited for it. He's a man of many talents, not the least of which is knowing. Ahu spots details that elude even the savviest of spies. If the hammer has fallen in Arx, he'll have taken notice. Old habits, my friend. I pursued my guiding star. I had no idea it would lead me so astray. But it's still the only star I knew to follow in the darkness. Yet perhaps I found another.
Gareth smiles at you. You see in him something he's lacked of late. Hope. Gareth grasps your shoulder as you turn to go.
You've done much for me. It's a miracle I even stand here now, frankly. You've got more miracles in you. With you, what was impossible seems possible again.
Not the finest of landings, though I suppose our dear vessel did well enough, given it's not exactly in its natural habitat. At least I can still access all of my tools in the Hall of Echoes. I wouldn't relish the prospect of scouring through all this wreckage to find what I need. Why work, of course? Anathema won't restore itself, I dare say. I shall finish what I started, aboard whatever remains of the Lady Vengeance in the Hall of Echoes. Come and find me later in the Hall of Echoes. I believe I'm rather close to having Anathema in working order.
Yes. Is it an audience you desire? The sallow man's mirror was rather obscure, but I have my suspicions. There's an ancient Empire consulate in the city, you see. By far and away the only place with the appropriate decor and decorum to host a princess. Rather hard not to think of Divinity, wouldn't you say, once it's become a promise? I've always known I was destined for greatness. To be God-woken, though, that I did not quite see coming. Did you? No signs, no early warnings of magic, sparkle. Sounds rather dull. Nevertheless, something landed you in Fort Joy. But of course that doesn't quite answer your original question. I have thought about the prospect of divinity, yes, and about what divinity really means. When one strips away from the term all the pomp, all the piety, all the manifold associations it calls to mind, one is left with a single word. Power. The true meaning of divinity is power, and as it so happens, power means a great deal to me. The only thing you have to ask yourself is, does it mean anything to you? A battle lost, a war begun. Dallas and that pet of hers are a force to be reckoned with. There is more to them than meets the eye. But what truly makes me pause is the fate of the Seven. How pitiful they were at the end. Think on it. Gods reduced to snarling beasts. So starved of source, it made them rabid. Think on it, because that is what we're fighting for. To be a god, knowing what a god really is. The powers of the Seven lie hidden in this city. So by all means, let's play hide-and-seek with divinity itself. Of course, Sadher continues to play hide-and-seek as well. More than anything, I long to find her.
Hello, gorgeous.
Bright eyes flashing eagerly, Ifan leans in to kiss you. Ifan steps closer, pressing into you with the whole length of his body as he wraps strong arms around you. He's so warm, and a rich scent rises from him, storms and leather. He kisses you like a man starved, then nuzzles into your neck, scratching your skin with his beard. It tingles wonderfully. Just as you're wondering if he's going to take you right here and now, he pulls away with clear regret.
I know. We've got work to do. So, what did you want to talk about? Everything.
Ifan glances at you from under dark lashes, a shy smile on his lips.
Even though the whole world is going to hell, for me, everything is better than before. But I can't lose you to all this. I've lost, well, everybody else. There's few enough rays of light left in this world. And you're the brightest.
Ifan pulls you into his strong arms and holds you close, kissing the top of your head tenderly.
Well, looks like we're celebrating Lucian's Day with a shipwreck. Rest in pieces, my lady. I didn't need to show any more to you than you've shown to me. Besides, the Order needs someone to lead them for the long haul. I don't need Divinity to do what's right for my people. In case you hadn't noticed, a divine is a lot of things, but they're sure no free. And honestly, what kind of man would I be if I abandoned Divinity once I got what I wanted? Damn it. Damn it, Justinia. What the hell happened to you? The Black Ring's pulling her strings. I should have figured. But I've got to say, I'd rather she was just straight up cruel than simply too weak to resist an evil as flippin' obvious as the Black Ring. How could you be so stupid, Justinia? How could I? Gods damn it all! That Isbel. She will pay. It ain't over till the Hammer Lady sings. I'm pretty sure I heard someone say that once. There's also another lady on my mind, of course. Justinia. A reckoning's coming for her, and his name is Beast. So much for sounding cool. I've never been very good at coming up with a snappy catchphrase on the spot. Why don't you give it a try? Now I wish I hadn't asked.
Beast's slight smirk and slow wink tell you he meant his words in jest. Given all that's transpired, you find his jocularity comforting. Ifan cocks an eyebrow and smiles at you warmly.
Can't say it wouldn't have felt good to wring the life from his neck with my own bare hands. But I trust you. You know me. You know who I am.
He shrugs, face clear of all emotion.
Can't leash a wolf. But you can teach him new tricks. Wolves are good that way. No need for thanks. You're still the natural choice. Well, you know what I think? We need to find Lucian, without delay.
Ifan claps you on the shoulder and beams at you, affection for you plain in his eyes.
Yes. By all means. That.
She twirls her needle nonchalantly between her fingers, but fumbles it and pricks her thumb. She pockets the needle and sucks away the little bead of blood that appears over the tiny wound.
I haven't given it a second thought. Neither should you. That, despite all the blood and guts, it's been perfectly wonderful. How about you?
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
We've certainly made a splash, haven't we? Let no one say otherwise. Let's carry on. See how many history books we can make it into. We may even make it into Cranley Hubert's. To be perfectly frank, yes. I only have to do what comes natural to me. Besides, these 7 weren't exactly angels. Even gods get their comeuppance. We stand warned, don't we? Last I heard, godhood awaits. If only we can wrest it from Dallas. First, we find her. Then, we roll for the greatest fate of them all.
Hey, everything okay?
She says nothing for a moment, but chews her lip, deep in thought.
To be honest, so did I. When we first arrived on the island, I could barely keep a lid on it. But when we fought the gods, it suddenly grew quiet. I think it's waiting, biding its time. For what, I'm not totally sure, but it's eager. I wish I didn't have to say that. Well, I'm still quite keen on getting this parasite out of my head. First that, then Dallas.
You see the crash? The ship? Are they void-woken? Thank the gods. There are void-woken within the city. I fear they are outside it too. But it seems Lucian's spirit watches over us. We are spared. For now, do as we do. Stay far away from Arx until the trouble's clear.
Jehan strokes his chin as he surveys the pilgrim camp. He notices you approach, turns, and smiles his stern smile.
A bit of a choppy re-entry, wasn't it? Sorry I couldn't be there to greet you, but time is limited. The doctor will know of the crash soon enough. I need to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can.
He swings a backpack over his shoulder. It's filled to the brim with potions, grenades, and magical charms.
Sadly, these pilgrims have no useful news. So, off to the city I go. Time to rid it of its demon.
Thank you. And I wish you good fortune as well. You've come a long way, fought hard. Divinity eludes you still. But I've the feeling it won't elude you much longer. Think about what it means to become a god. Prove worthy of it. Do good.
A firm handshake, and he's off.
Excuse me, have you word from the city? I heard the paladins inside have overthrown the Magisters. How can that be? And if it is, who's in charge of Fort Joy? My brother's just been sent there. I don't understand it. There's a prison here in Arx. Why send him so far away? I just need to plead his case. To Dallas herself, if I'm able. Or to whoever's in charge now. He's a sweet lad. He doesn't belong there. But I'll sort it out, that's for certain. I don't know. Maybe the Paladins have finally had enough of this clampdown. The Magisters will just go and lock up anybody. That wasn't Lucian's way, was it?
Ah, hello. Please, if you're in need of supplies, now's the time to stock up. There's no telling where you'll find another trader, such as things are. You'll have to forgive my limited stock. The incident in the harbour was... well, I was lucky to escape with my life, much less anything to sell. Voidwoken. I was taking inventory of the stock I brought to sell in Arx when the harbour was suddenly overrun. It was horrible. Though I did see one little girl all by herself just beyond the harbour. Poor thing. She was too far off for me to help. She's surely dead by now. I hope it was swift, at least. She was human. Light skin and fair hair, with a blue flower tucked behind one ear. But her eyes... I didn't know humans could have such dark eyes. They seemed almost pure black. A trick of the light, perhaps. And it wasn't the time to linger for another look.
You come to the city, I suppose. Like the rest of us. Whatever your purpose in Arx, you may be disappointed. I want to visit Lucian's shrine to find answers. But perhaps it is a fool's errand. I do not expect to hear his voice. But I meditate. I look upon his disciples. I take in his resting place. Perhaps the answers come. Peace, too. And perhaps not. This is the chance I take. Word comes that access is forbidden. There is fighting. I hear Magisters in white fighting the Paladins. And I hear a Voidwoken.
You're all right, stranger. I heard a huge crash in the mountains earlier. Maybe thunder, maybe Voidwoken. Don't go wandering alone now. There's no telling what you'll find.
She shoots you a questioning look, but resignation quickly wipes her face clean of curiosity.
I won't ask. Long as it weren't a Voidwoken, that's all I need to know. Well, settle in then. No point heading into the city. Gates are closed. Voidwoken. In the city. I never thought I'd see the day. White? Sure. Just before they lock the city gates. They say Dallas herself is inside the city walls. But I hear there's something up, too. Trouble between them and the Paladins. Of course, once the Voidwoken landed, that were the only thing on anyone's lips. Lucian's Day. Got a few prayers of my own that need answering. But these days, who don't?
The woman's upper lip twitches, and her chest heaves with each God-fearing utterance to the heavens.
Lucian, I pray thee absolve my sins and find me worthy. The time of reckoning is upon us. The hall awaits only the chosen. May the death fog cleanse me as it cleanses the land and waters.
She shoots you a frenzied glance.
He has told me his plan. Lucian will not wash our sins away with water or fire, but with death fog. The true faithful will bathe in the fog of their own accord, and he will reward them with eternal bliss. It spreads even now, just below. I am ready to prove my loyalty.
She trails off, and her eyes flit upwards, as if listening to a voice only she can hear.